Back-to-back resignations stunned the BJP ahead of the elections. UP Labour Minister Swami Prasad Maurya has quit. He switched over to the rival Samajwadi Party of Akhilesh Yadav. Swami Prasad Maurya in his resignation letter wrote, and I quote, "In spite of a divergent ideology, I worked with dedication in the Yogi Adityanath cabinet. Because of the grave oppression of Dalits, OBCs, farmers, unemployed and small businessmen, I am resigning." But that's not all. Roshan Lal Verma and Bhagwati Singh, both BJP MLAs, have quit the party. Caught on the wrong foot, BJP ropes in Sunil Bansal and Swatantrata Dev to pacify its descendants.
मैंने दलितों, पिछड़ों, किसानों, बेरोजगार नौजवानों, छोटे लघु मध्यम व्यापारियों के खिलाफ सरकार के रवैये को देखते हुए उत्तर प्रदेश योगी सरकार के मंत्रिमंडल से मैंने मंत्री पद से इस्तीफा दिया। पत्र मैंने श्री राज्यपाल जी को भेज दिया।
राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष अखिलेश यादव ने फोटो भी ट्वीट करी, तो क्या आप समाजवादी आज ज्वाइन करेंगे?
भाई, मैं राजनीतिक व्यक्ति हूं, तो कहीं न कहीं किसी न किसी राजनीतिक पार्टी से वार्ता हमें करनी ही होगी। हम किससे बात करेंगे, ये हम अपने कार्यकर्ताओं समर्थकों से बात करने के बाद तय करेंगे।
India Today spoke to Akhilesh Yadav's uncle and PSP President Shivpal Yadav. Shivpal has pledged his allegiance to the Samajwadi Party. Susanin.
अखिलेश यादव से मिलकर के, समाजवादी पार्टी से मिलकर के, प्रगतिशील समाजवादी पार्टी और समाजवादी दोनों मिलकर के 2022 का चुनाव लड़ेंगे। और हमारा मुख्य उद्देश्य है कि 2022 में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को हटा करके जो अखिलेश यादव के नेतृत्व में गठबंधन बना है, और उसी गठबंधन में हम भी शामिल हैं, तो अखिलेश यादव को 2022 के चुनाव में मुख्यमंत्री बनाना है। और हमने पूरी तरह से अखिलेश यादव को भी नेता मान लिया है। नेताजी का तो कहना यही है कि मिलकर के सब लोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी को उत्तर प्रदेश से हटाइए और मिलकर के चुनाव लड़िए। तो हम लोगों ने वो बात, नेताजी की बात को मान करके एक हो गए हैं, और अब अखिलेश यादव के नेतृत्व में ही हमें चुनाव लड़ना है और 2022 के चुनाव में जीतना भी है।
Well, the battle for UP heats up as the top contenders for the state take pot shots at each other on Panchayat Aaj Tak after the election dates were announced. From the controversial 80 versus 20 drive to vote bank politics, both Yogi Adityanath and Akhilesh Yadav had traded charges against each other. Here's the news report.
उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता भारतीय जनता पार्टी का उत्तर प्रदेश से सफाया करेगी।
उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता ने परंपरागत वंशवाद और जातिवाद की राजनीति को खारिज किया है।
The state of war Uttar Pradesh has begun in style. With the stage set for the semi-final before 2024, UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and SP Chief Akhilesh Yadav launched all-out attacks on each other at the Aaj Tak Panchayat.
वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी कह रही है कि हम 80% झूठ बोलते हैं, केवल 20% सच होता है हमारा।
ये चुनाव 80 बनाम 20 जाएगा। 3/4 से अधिक सीटों को पा करके प्रचंड बहुमत की सरकार बना रही होगी।
शर्ती तो ठीक, बड़ा मुकाबला भी दिख रहा है।
In the first interview after the elections were announced, Akhilesh Yadav countered Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's description of the election as 80 versus 20. Yogi on his part stood his ground.
राष्ट्रवाद
वो 80% झूठ बोलते हैं, 20% सच बोलते हैं। ये नहीं पता लगा आपको? वो जो 80 और 20 बता रहे हैं, वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी कह रही है कि हम 80% झूठ बोलते हैं, केवल 20% सच होता है हमारा। इस बार जनता समझ गई है, इसीलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग कूटे जा रहे हैं। 80% लोग इनसे नाराज हैं, मैं कहता हूं 100% लोग नाराज हैं इनसे।
ये तो 80 बनाम 20 तो है ही। ये चुनाव 80 बनाम 20 जाएगा। और मैंने आपको पहले कहा कि चुनाव होंगे तो आप रिजल्ट दो, 10 मार्च को आने दीजिए। एक तरफ भारतीय जनता पार्टी होगी जो 3/4 से अधिक सीटों को पा करके प्रचंड बहुमत की सरकार बना रही होगी। दूसरी तरफ कांग्रेस, सपा, बसपा ये सभी दल होंगे, ये 20% वे लोग हैं जो राम जन्मभूमि का विरोध करते हैं, काशी विश्वनाथ धाम का विरोध करते हैं, मथुरा वृंदावन के भव्य स्वरूप का विरोध करते हैं। ये 20% वे लोग हैं जो जिनकी पीड़ा माफियाओं के साथ में है, जिनकी पीड़ा पेशेवर अपराधियों के साथ में है, जिनकी संवेदना पेशेवर आतंकवादियों के साथ में है, ये वही लोग हैं।
The face-off intensified as the conversation took a religious turn, with Akhilesh Yadav claiming that Lord Krishna is his Kul Bhagwan. Yogi, in his reply, claimed that Lord Ram and Krishna appear in his dreams and bless him.
धर्म भी कभी कभी अंधविश्वास होता है, इसलिए सपने में आगे मेरे कुल भगवान है। उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता भारतीय जनता पार्टी का उत्तर प्रदेश से सफाया करेगी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी वाले ये भी समझ लें कि इस बार जनता राधे राधे कहने वाली है उनको, और वो जाने वाले हैं।
हमारे स्वप्न में तो आएंगे, मेरे स्वप्न में नहीं आएंगे तो किसके स्वप्न में आएंगे। और मैं जरूर देखता हूं कि भगवान राम का आशीर्वाद हम पर है, भगवान कृष्ण का भी आशीर्वाद हम पर है। भगवान कृष्ण तो उनको कोसने के लिए जाएंगे कि भाई अब कुछ तो लोक लाज रखो।
पार्टी ने आगरा से लखनऊ सड़क।
The two cross swords over development as well, with both taking credit for the construction of expressways in the state.
ये सपा बसपा इन सबका तो यही कैरेक्टर है।
समाजवादी एक्सप्रेसवे जिसका नाम था, समाजवादी हटा करके पूर्वांचल एक्सप्रेसवे ठीक है बनाया आपने। समाजवादी सरकार का अलाइनमेंट था, टेंडर पूरा कर दिया था, LOI इशू नहीं कर पाए थे क्योंकि चुनाव डिक्लेयर हो गया था। और अगर चुनाव डिक्लेयर नहीं होता और समाजवादी सरकार बन गई होती तो देश की सबसे बेहतरीन कंपनियों को वो काम करने का मौका मिलता। और सड़क पे आप जाएं, वो वर्ल्ड क्लास सड़क बन रही थी जिसकी राइडिंग क्वालिटी वन ऑफ द बेस्ट होती, लेकिन बाबा मुख्यमंत्री ने उसके ठेकेदार बदल दिए।
हमारे लिए, हम जनता जनार्दन के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं, किसी ऐसे व्यक्ति के लिए नहीं जो हर जगह अपनी सौदेबाजी कर रहा हो। हम उसके लिए प्रतिबद्ध नहीं हैं। बिना किसी रुके, बिना किसी झुके, बिना किसी डिगे, बिना किसी डिगे हमने काम किया है, काम कर रहे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता ने परंपरागत वंशवाद और जातिवाद की राजनीति को खारिज किया है।
The battle for Uttar Pradesh has well and truly begun. The first salvos were fired from the election panchayat held by India's most watched television news channel.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी का उत्तर प्रदेश से सफाया करेगी।
The fight is set to get fiercer as the race enters the next lap.
इस बानिए में मैं इसीलिए आया हूं,
Bureau Report, India Today.
कि जनता के सारे भ्रम को तोड़ेंगे।
All right, let's get you more details when it comes to the face-off that we've been seeing in the state of Karnataka over the Mekadatu Padyatra, where DK Shiv Kumar has been carrying on with the Padyatra in spite of infections that are being reported. Now, even as there is outrage, the Congress chief DK Shiv Kumar has refused to stop the Padyatra. He was seen leading thousands of Congress workers on the Padyatra for the third straight day and mindful of the criticism over violations of COVID norms. Shiv Kumar this time was accompanied by Siddaramaiah after the former Chief Minister had skipped yesterday's rally. Two Karnataka Congress leaders have tested positive after the Mekadatu Padyatra amid the pandemic. Both leaders had come in contact with Shiv Kumar, who was refusing to take the test. Former Minister Revanna, who took part in day one of the inaugural Padyatra with DKS, has tested positive. Chief Minister CM Ibrahim, in fact, I beg your pardon, a sitting MLC, is also positive. He took part in the MLA's meeting at DK Shiv Kumar's house. It was one day before the launch of the Padyatra. Another FIR has been registered against Shiv Kumar, his brother DK Suresh, and 41 leaders of the Congress for the violation.
Thousands of protesters on the streets of Karnataka, marching for the second straight day in brazen violation of the COVID norms in place. The Karnataka Congress held this massive protest over the Mekadatu showdown, and leading the stir was the state party chief DK Shiv Kumar. A maskless DKS even endangering lives of children by roping them in for the Padyatra in pandemic. Unmindful of the third wave that's at Karnataka and the rest of the country, unmindful that there's no social distancing or even masks. All this from the man who believed that the COVID crisis has been staged by the Bombay government.
No cases are there, they are just creating, they want the number, they are hiking the number. No COVID here. Simply they are hiking the number. Who are coming, they are just harassing people. They are collecting more than 3,000 rupees per visitor who is entering Karnataka.
It's no wonder then that when officials went knocking on DKS's door to get tested after participating in a potential super spreader event, he outrightly refused.
If I have any problem, I will tell you. Many fellows, they are blackmailing me. They can't blackmail me. Please go and tell your health minister, ಯಾರೋ ಪಚ್ಚಾವರ ಹತ್ರ ಆಟಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಂತ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಹತ್ರ ಓಡಾಡ್ಲಿ, ಏನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದು, ಏನ್ ತಿಂಗ್ ನನ್ನ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್, ಅವ್ನು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಯು ಕಮ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್. ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ರೇ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಏನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಎಡಿಸಿ, ನನಗೆ ಫಿಟ್ ಫೈನ್, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? You can't compel me. I know the law of this land. You tell your home minister, I'm perfect. ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನೋ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೋಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೋ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೋ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗೋ. ನಾನು ಯಾವ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. 15 ಕಿಲೋಮೀಟರ್ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಈ ತೂಕಾಟ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಒಂಚೂರು ಜಗ್ಗಿದ್ದೀನಾ?
The Karnataka CM was quick to hit out at DK Shivakumar for what can all be called sheer carelessness by the state Congress chief.
ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದೆ, ಪಾದಯಾತ್ರೆ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೇವೆ. ಯಾರು ಕಾನೂನು ಉಲ್ಲಂಘನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಕ್ರಮ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಕೇಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಕೇಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ, ಕೇಸ್ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅದು ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಖಂಡಿತ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಯಾವುದೂ ಭೇದ ಭಾವ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೇ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಲೀಡರ್ ಇರಲಿ, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಮನುಷ್ಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಭೇದ ಭಾವ.
Considering the clear violation of curfew orders in the state, the Bombay government decided to crack the whip on DK Shivakumar. But the senior Congress leader is defiant.
ಅದೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ನಿಜ. ಆ ನೋಟಿಸು ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನೋಟಿಸ್, ಇದನ್ನ ಕಾನೂನುಬದ್ಧವಾದಂಥ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, 144 ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದವರು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅವ್ರು ಬರ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಇದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್
Politics has stooped to a new low in Karnataka where even a pandemic isn't spared from irresponsible acts. With DK Shivakumar making one reckless statement after another and even refusing to get tested, will the party high command intervene or let this Nataka amid COVID continue? After all, it was the Congress that took a moral high ground, and rightly so, on political rallies amid the pandemic. Bureau Report, India Today.
India Today also spoke exclusively to Karnataka Congress President DK Shivakumar. Well, he has been alleging that facts are being manipulated and has also hit out at the Bombay government there.
And joining me now is DK Shivakumar, the Karnataka Congress chief, on his yatra. We've interrupted your Padiyatra, but a lot of controversy over it, DK Shivakumar. You are holding a Padiyatra when there is COVID across the country raging, including in Karnataka. Shouldn't you have stopped your Padiyatra till COVID, at least the cases came down? You have said there is no COVID.
See, it is all manipulated. I've just gone to the records. We had announced it early. There just not even a single death has been taken place. Not even a single patient in my district where we are doing. There is no one who has been admitted in the ICU.
But Mr. Shivakumar, the fact is that there is the cases have risen in Karnataka, and the fact is that these are warning signs. Your own party high command is saying we don't. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra says we are conscious of public health. We won't do big rallies, and you are doing a big Padiyatra.
See, I'm telling you, UP is different, Karnataka is different. Here, government itself is just trying to create numbers. Earlier, they was just telling that we just created. It is not a big. I have just gone to the detail. I have spoken to the doctor.
But Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar, how can you say that cases from Karnataka, that all of this is manipulated? This is medical. Why are you going against science?
No, I am not going science. They are not looking at science. They are looking at politics. They are looking at politics. They want politics. See, whoever gets a negative in the international, who comes from the flight, they come with a negative certificate. As soon as they enter Karnataka, they become positive. Come, let me see. See where the Padayatra is going on. Not even a single patient is in the ICU. Not even a single death has taken place. Yesterday, they sent an officer.
It is very irresponsible that if you travel without social distancing, without proper masking, no testing, you are a senior leader, sir.
Yes, I am telling you. The government, yesterday, they sent one officer to me who has a COVID to me to get me a sample. Who has a COVID, now who has been declared, they're sending me for getting a sample. This is the administration going on. The worst ever, most corrupt government.
No, but Mr. Shiv Kumar, in Bengaluru, citizens are being put under night curfew.
No. They are just harassing.
Life is being damaged. They have to close their shops.
They are harassing.
You can go on a Padayatra.
They are harassing the people there. They are harassing the people. They just because to stop our Padayatra, they are harassing the people. They are putting curfew. They are putting weekend lockdown. All these things only for the sake of political gain to stop us growing. They can't digest the popularity what we are having. They are trying to do all these things. Let them do that.
And even as the outrage peaks over Shiv Kumar's mega Padayatra amid a pandemic, the BJP is guilty of brazenly violating norms as well. On your screen is the big birthday bash of former BJP minister and mining baron Janardhan Reddy. Huge crowds gathered for the event and several VIPs including Minister Srimunulu and MLA Somashekar Reddy were present. The event was in complete violation of the current COVID norms that are in place. This is the second instance of BJP netas clouding norms during the third wave. MLA Renukacharya had also attended a massive festival in Karnataka's Honnali yesterday with zero regard for masks or social distancing. Shiv Kumar also has come under fire for his Padayatra. Now he says the BJP's double standards stands exposed. Well, ahead of assembly elections in Punjab, cross-border groups, be it Pakistan-based terror groups or Khalistan separatists, all of them are in top gear, peddling fake propaganda to create disharmony. Here's a report by Tanseem Haider and Mohit Sharma.
With Punjab elections round the corner, the United States-based separatist organization Sikhs for Justice is at it again. This time hatching a conspiracy to target India on the 73rd Republic Day. Several social media handles linked to Sikhs for Justice have called for blockades at India Gate and Red Fort on January 26th. Wishing for a rerun of the anarchy that marred capitals, streets on January 26th last year. They called upon their supporters to raise the flag of Khalistan in the place of the tricolour. The band outfit has announced a $1 million fund for the mission. And it's not just Sikhs for Justice. Across the border, Pakistan fake factories are into overdrive. Many fake handles have been found by Indian agencies that have been peddling Khalistan and farmer protest narrative. Some accounts based out of Pakistan have also been found reigniting sacrilege issues to create disharmony ahead of the state elections. The nefarious plot to target India stands exposed. Now the question is, what steps are being taken by the government to check outfits like Sikhs for Justice? With Mohit and Tanseem Haider in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
China, meanwhile, is back with its dirty propaganda tricks. Dragon stooping to a new low as its state-affiliated media taunted India after Defence Minister Rajnath Singh tested COVID positive. Well, after fake Galwan Valley propaganda video, China is now trying to imply that coronavirus is spread in the Indian army, and this may have impacted India's fighting ability. This comes after Rajnath Singh tweeted saying that he had mild symptoms and that he was in isolation. Even as the world is fighting with the virus originated in China, the dragon is busy propagating lies while mocking and taunting neighboring nation. Alright, a tweet put out by actor Siddharth on the 6th of January in response to Saina Nehwal has triggered a massive storm. The actor was responding to Saina Nehwal, who had condemned the Prime Minister's security breach, but the words used by Siddharth were downright derogatory and sexist. The badminton star has hit back at the actor, saying that his choice of words were really not nice. The National Commission for Women also has demanded that Siddharth be booked for sexual harassment.
Actor Siddharth's sexist tweet targeting Olympic shuttler Saina Nehwal has sparked outrage both online and offline. The Rang De Basanti actor attacked the ace badminton player when she condemned the lapses in PM Modi's security. Siddharth, with a misogynistic response on social media, left many angry and disgusted. The Olympic bronze medalist herself responded to the sexist jibe. Saina told India Today that the actor's remarks were not nice and he could have chosen better words to express himself. She added that people use such words to get noticed on Twitter. Saina's father, Harveer Singh Nehwal, has demanded an apology from Siddharth for the derogatory remark. Badminton player and Saina's husband Parupalli Kashyap also slammed the actor, calling his remarks upsetting. Siddharth will have to face action for his words. The Chief of National Commission for Women, Rekha Sharma, has written to Maharashtra DGP requesting the police to file an FIR against Siddharth and start an investigation. The NCW has also written to Resident Grievance Officer of Twitter India to immediately block the actor's account. Saina has also got support from spiritual leader Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev. He called the actor's tweet disgusting and distasteful. Attempting a face saver, Siddharth has clarified now. Tweeting, cock and bull, that's the reference. Reading otherwise is unfair and leading. Nothing disrespectful was intended, said or insinuated. Bureau Report, India Today.